Shirley. It's curriculum buying season, and we were hashing out some of the things that we bought for our children or made sure that was included in their days when they were young. Well, let's say that today we're going to talk about things that needed to be included for young children, and then we'll talk about things that need to be included for older children next week, perhaps. And we kind of thought it was the things that every home should have, that stand the test of time, that keep on giving, that deal with things like fine motor, gross motor, all that sort of thing, and just a lot of fun. So we are assuming that parents are using literature-rich programs where they're reading aloud to their children. They've got bookshelves and book baskets, and the kids are just being nourished with the written word. After that, what would you say, or what in your home ranked as that we need to have for our young children?
Wow, I think for any mother with kids under 5, one of the best things that we ever invested in, and we actually bought them multiple times, was those little plastic scooters for toddlers and kids to race around on.
Yeah.
And then as they grew older, some of them had a tricycle and then eventually a bicycle. But, wheels that they can move on. I think that's great.
Yeah.
It develops the gross motor skills and it's just great fun,
Yeah, Shamar, that's such a fond memory of the childhood days. You're hearing that on the paving stones and that sort of thing. Yeah, absolutely. One excellent. Ours was a jungle gym, and we often, when moms come to me and their children are sort of like under 5 years of age, and they say, "What curriculum should I buy?" And there's so many things that you can say. Well, this program is for young children, etc. But most of the ones that we recommend are always literature. So like Little Footprints and the Barefoot Days that is coming up soon. But I generally tend to say to them, don't invest in a curriculum, rather buy your children a jungle gym. Because not only is it a wonderful place for kids to climb and slide and develop, their gross motor skills, their upper body strength, which they need later on to sit at a desk and to write properly. It also becomes a place where they can do a lot of imaginative play. Our kids used to make them into tents by hanging a sheet down the side, and they would, make like little secret places or have tea underneath it, or it had a tent canopy at the top, and all the teddy bears and soft toys would go in there, and they would be part of this thing. So for us, a jungle gym has got so many facets. And your next one?
Well, we never had a jungle gym, but my kids had bunk beds that they climbed up and down and did that kind of playing in, and always climbed walls and trees and things like that. So people might not have the space for a jungle gym, but the concept is get your children to the park often, which is what we often did. We'd ride the little scooters down to the park, spend some time there, and get that gross motor stimulation. A sandpit is another great investment. That if you've got a little stoop or a little corner in the garden where you can have a sandpit, again, it's that texture and imaginary play, and in summer you can make it water, and that kept the kids out of my hair often as well when they were out there playing in the sandpit. So I think these things we want to think of schoolwork and books and crafts and writing, but when they're preschool age especially, you've got to stimulate the whole body and the imagination, and these kind of things do that.
Yeah, we had those clams. So you could put the water on the one side and then the sand on the other. I mean, often the two things got mixed, which is also great. But kids would come in like covered in, wet sand from head to toe. So those were great. And also it's nice because if there's cats in the neighborhood, you can kind of just close it up in the evening.
Yeah.
I said that one of the reasons why I think our youngest is so passionate about engineering and the structure of things is because of all the construction toys that he played with, in particular when he was young. Marble runs, and Zoob. Zoob is an amazing construction toy for kids. Then loads and loads of Lego, the Lego Technic, and then also into the Mindstormers robotic when they were a little bit older. That was also great. My husband bought back a batch of Meccano when he had gone to Miami for a business conference way back, like 18, 19 years ago, and we've still got that. It's like there for the grandchildren. And so those sort of construction toys, I think, are a lifesaver as well, because if you have older children, the younger children can sit and play with those around your feet while you're reading, and there's that trickle down effect that happens. They're listening to stories that are maybe above their age level, but you know, they're still learning. It's just the cleaning up. But then again, I suppose, you know, that's one of the life's lessons. We make a mess, we gotta clean it up. But lots
If
of
you
little
play
bits
with
of
Lego
play.
on a blanket, you
Yeah.
can just pick up the four corners and that
And-
helps. But yes,
yeah.
it invariably ends up under your feet at some point.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is a lesson in tidying up and being responsible.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, and
great.
then the last one, we never had a trampoline. We didn't have the space, and my husband was a little bit nervous about the 4 boisterous children all jumping on it at the same time. But these days, I mean, back then when Noah was a child, you know, we didn't have those sort of cages that they put around them that I now see.
Yeah.
That they've got these fabric cages. Did you guys have a trampoline?
Yes, we went through a few trampolines. They don't always last that long. So we definitely did. And with my kids going into gymnastics, it
Yes.
probably stood them in good stead, you know. So
Yeah.
definitely it develops that sense of a body awareness and that type of thing.
Mm.
Excellent investments. Yeah.
Okay, so that was our top 5 for young children. So bicycle, tricycle, scooter, trampoline, jungle gym, sand pit, and construction toys.
Construction toys.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I hope that inspires some parents for
And keep reading aloud every day.
Yes, absolutely. Good one.